YouTube world? Johnny Moe here, coming to you with my second Q&A, baby! You know I get real on these Q&As. Hey, man, I'm just excited. Just got in from plowing again. So I'm going to do these Q&As because I told these guys I would do a Q&A today. Let me read the question. My boy Mick Hippie from Australia, baby, hitting the Johnny Moe up in Pennsylvania. Here we go. If the other guy didn't screw up his money, able to pay for the engine, able to stop the other job when he needed, was able to start mowing again when he needed, where would you be now? Great question. Great question. I like that question. I'm not afraid of hard questions. I'll answer them. I'm nuts. I'll answer those hard questions. People ignore that stuff. I won't. I'll answer it. Good question, Mick Hippie. Here's what I believe, Mick. That story isn't the first time that that's happened to me. That happened 3 times in my business where people gave up their business and I happened to be in the right place at the right time. So I believe I'd be right where I am right now. Here's my analogy that I'm going to give to you guys. I believe just like a farmer goes out in the spring, he's tilling up the ground, he's planting seeds, he's working his field. I believe that when you do that, when you prepare yourself, good things happen. That farmer doesn't know if it's going to rain. That farmer doesn't know if that seed's going to grow. That farmer doesn't even know how that seed processes and grows. The only thing you can do is do what you can do. And then that's that unseen stuff that you don't get to see, that all of a sudden it just starts sprouting up. And then all of a sudden it grows. And then it grows. And all of a sudden you've got a field filled with produce and corn and different things. And that's what I like to think about this business, Mick, is I believe because I was doing what I was doing, and I was doing it with character, was doing it with integrity, my stuff looked good, and it just, opportunity met that intersection I talked about. You know, I'll give you a story, real quick story, and I'll move on to the next question. These are for you guys out there struggling. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Just keep plowing your fields, keep planting your seeds, man. It's going to happen. It'll grow. Eventually it'll grow. You don't know how, you don't know when, but it'll grow. Trust me, bro. I lived this. 19 years of this stuff, man. I'll tell you a story. I call it the Helen Willannon story. I was fertilizing for my old company, and we did this lady's house. She was in her 80s, and it's my first or second year in business. I was working at night. I'd always go do her grass, fertilize her grass. It would always be jacked up. Cut too low, not cut properly in time. And I'm like, Miss Willannon, why are you getting paid? Why are you paying me to do this, fertilize your lawn, and you're not keeping up with the cutting? And she goes, well, my neighbor does it for $10. I can't afford it. I don't know. I said, Miss Willannon, why don't you let me cut your grass for $10? It was this little, I'm talking, it was the littlest lawn I ever had. Take me 15 minutes, weed whack, blow, edge, get out, you're out. I said, I'll do it for $10. So I did this lawn for $10, and I did it for years. I had it up to $12, and I went to $14, and she loved me, So, we're doing this lawn. And, it's about 2002, and I'm really considering, that was when I was in that transition where I really needed something to kick over for me. What happened was that guy's business went down. I was able to pick that up, and, it really hit it off for 2003. But here's something else that happened. In 2002, I started getting rid of some of my lawns that just weren't, very good pay-wise. Stuff I was doing for $15, $12. I got rid of all that because I picked up all that extra work. Well, Helen Willannon was on the list, but she was old and she couldn't find anybody. And my wife just said, John, you know what? Just do it. You take care of her because she's older. And I was like, you know what, Jen, you're right. So I took care of her. Listen to this story, Mick. This is a true story. Right out the box, baby. Beginning of 2003. In 2002, I was able to pick up those lawns. In 2003, the business went through the roof. And here's one of the reasons why. Helen Willannon had a cousin who lived on the other side of town. And what happened was her lawn guy was working full time and doing this on the side. Well, he had like 8 lawns on one street that he would go do, but he got rid of them all. And he got out of the business, wasn't making money. He was too hard working at a steel factory and then coming home at night and trying to cut all his lawns. We got a business. And this is what I mean when you're doing the right thing. I'm over here doing the right thing for Helen Willannon, but something's going on over here that you don't know about, that you're about to be set up by, because you're planting and things are growing. You're about to reap a harvest that you didn't even think of. So here's what happened. Helen calls her cousin. Her cousin calls Helen. Helen, I don't have anyone to cut my grass. Who cuts your grass? You say how much you love that Johnny guy. Can you send him up my way? And Helen would say, yeah, he's the best. And, you know, Johnny's mowing. Nobody cuts better. I have the best lawn in the whole street. And she did. You know, it was on the old side of town, you know, and looked good. So she calls me up, and I go up to, I call it the Decker Drive run. So I go up to Decker Drive, and this is a true story, man. You can't get any better than this. I get out of the truck, you know, I go to the neighbor, and I go to her house, her cousin's house, and I bid the lawn. You can have it. You know what? My neighbor needs someone to cut her grass, too. So I walk up, knock on the door, say, hey, my name's John. I'm doing your neighbor. I heard you might need. Yeah, I do. Got that lawn. Neighbor across the street comes out. I go across the street, and she goes, yeah, you can do the lawn. Neighbor comes out on the other side. This is one day, bro. No lie. Knock on the door. He comes out, yeah, I need someone. Then I go down the street, 4 houses down the street, and get 1, 2, 3. I got 8 lawns in one day, bro. I'm serious, like $200 in a pop. You know what I mean? $200, 1 stop, 2 hours. Seriously, that's how it worked out, and it worked out that. And this has happened. You know, now I think it's happened 4 times to me where people got out of business. And I was set up, I was ready, I knew what I was doing, I knew how to price jobs, and it worked out for me, man. So you stick around the business long enough, people get out. New people come in, and sometimes they got really good marketing, they're really slick. Then they find out, you know, that it ain't what it cracked up to be, and they're skipping town a year later. Well, when they get in with all that slick marketing, you know, guerrilla marketing, we're gonna, and then they go balls to the wall, they pick up all this extra work. Well, you know me, I'm just like coming behind us like a little street sweeper. Thank you, thank you, thank you, ha ha ha. You know, because they're out. And I'm established. I got the equipment, I got some guys running. You know, you just sweep up right behind them. They come in, they leave a mess. You come in with your little sweeper. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. That's what I'm talking about. Staying alive, ha, ha. No, I'm serious, man. Johnny Mo, get crazy on the Q&A, baby. One more question and we're out of here. How about that? Mick Hippie, love you, buddy. Thanks for giving me that question. I'll answer the hard stuff. Keep plowing your fields. Keep sowing seed. Keep doing what you know to do, and good things will happen. I guarantee it. You stick around long enough. Craig Candor, what advice would you give to solo guys? What's the most a solo guy can make? Great question. My videos are more for people who want to grow their business, going to that next level. But I was solo, so I got you. I'll give you a quick Q&A on that. What advice would I give? First of all, honestly, you really do need to know your numbers. Like, if it was me and I was you right now, I'd be sitting down at my office desk, and I would sit there and I'd figure out what it's going to cost me to live this year. Like, every month. What's your fixed cost? What's your variable cost? You know, go down the list. Like, what's it cost for me? My gas, my bills in my house, your house payment, you know, your groceries. Whatever it is, you write all that down and you figure out that. And you figure out how you can make that. Listen, man, I think I worked from 96 till 2001, 2002. I had a job during the day, and at night I'd start this business, man. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was rough, but, man, those years we were pounding the pavement, and all of a sudden we took off, and, you know, we're blowing up spots now, man. I mean, we're just blowing it right out of the water. And so what I would say is, you know, it's an age-old adage, oh, know your numbers, know your number. Listen, I can't tell you anything more but know your numbers. You really got to know how much you need to make, because you don't want to be, losing your house over a hobby. The government, I think the government, my accountant told me after 5 years you don't make any money, it's considered a hobby. It's not considered a job. So that's what I would tell you. Know your numbers. Live cheap. Live cheap, man. I'm talking macaroni and cheese. I had tuna noodle casserole. I'd get macaroni and cheese and a little can of tuna, and I'd mix them up. That's a good dinner, bro. That's a good lunch too. Woohoo! Live cheap. If you want to do this, you got to go after it, man. Another thing I would say for a solo guy, how much can I make? I found that you're not going to make much more than $50,000 a year. Just my personal opinion. I know there's guys out there killing it. They're making $100,000. They're all by themselves. They're cutting 100 lawns with a 36-inch walk behind, and it's raining $100 bills. But here's the truth. Take it from a guy with experience. Been in it 19 years. I know how much you can make. You're going to make between $45,000 and $60,000. And once you reach above about the 40 to 45 yard mark, you're going to be humping. I mean, you got drive time in there. You've got a lot of different things. So you're going to be humping, man. If you want to grow your business, get around different people who stretch you. Get around people who are bigger than you. Get around some people that make you feel uncomfortable. If you're always running around with people who are smaller than you in business, you'll always have that small mindset. You'll have that average mentality. I'm going to be average. I'm allergic to average. There ain't nothing average about me, man. I can't stand to be around people with the average mentality. Well, if I can just make enough. Your enough is never going to be enough. Why? Because life's going to smack you in the face. You got to go out there and hit it while you can still hit it. So when life does smack you in the face, you can smack it back. That's what I'm talking about. Life brings it at you like, hey, transmission went out of my truck. It just smacked you in the face. Well, guess what? I got the money in the bank because I smacked you back. Have money in the bank, man. Smack life back. Don't be taking all the punches of life. Bro, listen, man, I had to put a new universal joint in. I had to get a new cutting edge, new plow lights here recently. I think I spent like over $1,000 already just this week alone. Man, I smack life back. That's what I do. That's what I'm talking about. Smack it back, man. Make sure you're good with your money. Get around some people that are larger than you, that you can really learn from, that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you feel insecure, and go after it. Because the truth is, man, when I started this, the only person that really believed was me. I mean, my wife, she supported me. She believed in it, and we went through some rough patches there. But really, honestly, you got to believe in it. You got to believe that you can do this. And I believe that you can do it. You got to stick it out through the hard times. Get around some people. If you're married, if you're going to get married, make sure that your wife, seriously, is down with you. Because when you two can't get in, you won't get through those hard times, man. I got a great support system. My wife's awesome. She supported me when, money wasn't flowing like it is, Like right now, man, I drop her $500-600. Go shopping, honey. Do what you need to do. When we buy cars, we don't buy junk cars. We buy decked out leather ones, man. I remember what it was like buying those used cars. Can't get it past a year. Can't wait for your tax refund. We don't get a tax refund anymore. We sign checks. Here, you know what I'm saying? It's different now. Get around. I take care of her, man. She was awesome to me. I spoil her, man. She goes out. I buy her designer jeans, $150, $200 jeans, whatever she wants, because she was down with me when no one else was down with me. And everybody, you're stupid, you're stupid. So get around people that make you feel uncomfortable. Go to that next level, man. You need to expose yourself to different things. If you haven't already, take a part-time job working for a landscape company. Learn something new. But that's my time. Those are great questions. Another Q&A, baby. The Johnny's mowing. Hey, guys, See you next week because I got some more plowing. Got a storm coming in 2 o'clock later.